Well, hello there. This is week 3 for the Paradise Kids Fantasy Football League, and we're just going to get straight to it, starting at the bottom of the list. We have Balls Deep in Rivers versus The Back of My Head Hurts, and Stike, The Back of My Head Hurts, is going a big 0-3, and he still swears he's going to make playoffs, but he's got to do something different with his team going on. He lost 91.86 to 85.92, so it was a close week, but pretty much Romo killed it for him, scoring only 8 points. His wide receiver, Demaryius Thomas, only got 2.4. Fitzgerald finally had a good game. Ray Rice, solid. Murray did alright. Selleck pretty much been doing what he was doing all year, which is nothing, which he really needs a tight end. Stephen Ridley had a low week as well. For some reason they played Woodhead more over Ridley, which I didn't understand either, but that's just tough luck for him. And Detroit losing to the Titans. I think that was one of the biggest upsets of the week, besides Minnesota over Frisco. And so Detroit got the whole 0 points for their defense. Pretty sad. Alright, and then here's Natalie going to talk about the next one.
Oh, mine. The next one is Plaxico TDs, which is my team, against Martin's team, which is, I can't say that right.
F my team sucks.
Yeah, F my team sucks. Okay. Basically, I lost by a lot, because Cam Newton didn't do anything for me, while RG3 put up big 27 points. Green did awesome. Nelson did nothing for me, with a big 1.9 points. 6.2 points for Gore, so he also let me down. And Drawn. Good old Drawn. Oh yeah, and then Jamal Charles, which is 34.8 points for him, which is his best game of the year, by the way.
And of his life, for 288 total yards. That's pretty impressive, even though I hate Jamal Charles.
Me too. Especially after this week. And then Arian Foster with 16.8 points. And Spiller with 11.8, even though he still got hurt. And what was that for the first quarter? First quarter. And Gold, the kicker, with 13 points. But my kicker also had 13 points. And both of our defense sucked.
Alright, going to my team, which I lynched a Blackman versus he called the shit poop. Breeze did alright, 20 points. Rogers, horrible game. Just like their team has been playing lately.
That's mean.
I don't know if you guys saw the call or not, but you guys want to watch on SportsCenter for the calls that the makeup ref said. One ref called it interception, another one called it a touchdown at the end of the game. Hopefully those guys start getting fired and something happens with the refs in this league.
Who's saying that?
I'm making a web blog for our league.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
I can read that or something.
No.
Oh, good night.
Good night. Sorry for the interruption. Yeah, Wallace over Brown, 18 points versus 13 points. Cruz did nothing for him. Donald Brown, 10 points. I mean, my team just didn't cut it this week.
Really get started over.
My kicker did bad, my wide receiver did bad, my Gronkowski did bad, my running backs did bad, and I only lost by 5 points, which I think is pretty impressive feat, mainly because my defense got 23 points. Chicago, you did me good. Newman, you still beat me because your tight end did good. If your tight end got his projected, I would have beat you still. Oh well, moving on. This next team matchup was I got Weed in my pipe versus Be Easy on my Vic, Kyle and Matt. Matt pretty much blew him out of the water this time. Manning got his average, 16 points. That's what was expected. Stafford got 18 points, but he did get hurt, so if he didn't get hurt, he probably would have gotten way more points with his team scoring 41 points, even though they lost. Floyd got 5 points, pretty low for him because SD looked pretty pathetic versus Atlanta this week, 27-3. Calvin Johnson, big week with 22 points, expected for that big guy. I don't know what the hell Kyle is thinking starting Kevin Smith when Mikkel LaShore is back. And LaShore put up good numbers this week, so Kevin Smith, not a good option anymore. Tony Gonzalez went huge for him. Andre Brown, the backup running back for the Giants, got 25 points, had a heck of a day, heck of a first quarter actually, which is when he got almost all of his points.
You're welcome, by the way.
And that's pretty much because Natalie's guy Bradshaw got hurt. So Brown, that was a good pickup by you. Eric Decker with a big week finally, what people expect of him with 13 points, but didn't give Kyle enough points to put him on the board. Still end up losing by 33 points, which is a pretty big deficit, but we had a few other bigger ones this week. And moving on to the biggest matchup this week.
Our last one is the Abusement Park against Sandusky and the boys, and Cook with 108.2 points, and Mikey with 63.68. He is now the new Yep, he's the new Donkey Punch of the week by barely any points. Because if it weren't for him, if it weren't for him, I would be the new Donkey Punch. But just want to know,
It's also super kick.
You're also super kick. Do you understand what I'm saying to you right now? And Vic got him only 9.48 points when Matt Ryan got almost 23 points. Cobb got him only 1.9 points, which is not very good. Against Brandon Marshall, had 7.1 points. Jones got him 12.7 points. He didn't really have a good game either. Well, he had a good game, but McFadden with 17.5 points.
It's a big week for him. He hasn't been doing very well.
Vernon Davis with 11.3 on Mikey's team. Jones Drew with 25 for Cook, which is pretty good. Big week for him. And then Seattle's defense with 12 points against Green Bay, who only had 2 points.
So that is how week 3 ended. Moving on to week 4 projections. And this one is me versus Cook. This is a good rivalry, almost as good as Mikey's and Stykes will be in a few weeks, or whenever that is. Cook is supposed to beat me 116 to 106.
I have faith in Adam, though.
But, I mean, I just can't have another bad week in a row. I just don't see it happening. I got some on the waiver wire helping me out. Got maybe a big trade coming in with Styke. We'll see how it goes.
For Kyle against Mikey, that's what it is. Yeah, Kyle against Mikey. I'm gonna have to go with Mikey with 100. He's projected to be 101 points, and Kyle's only projected to be 89. And Mikey's actually a lot better. No offense, but he's been doing better, except for this last week. But we'll see.
And the biggest thing that's happening this week is it's the first week of buys.
Bye week.
So people gotta start paying attention and filling people in. Moving on, it is Styke versus Matt, which I think should be a pretty good matchup here. Styke is set to blow Matt out of the water, 109 to 93. I mean, looking at it, Styke's got a couple tough matchups though. I don't know if his guys will do that good. He's got running back and quarterback against Chicago's good defense. Another running back against Buffalo's defense. So, I mean, pretty tough matchup there. Matt looks like he has a better much better matchups, especially Giants against Philadelphia. And Philadelphia's been good, but Revis out, that's really going to hurt Philadelphia for the season and for their DBs.
The next one is me against Michael Newman, and I'm supposed to win, but he has a bunch of people on bye week, so we'll have to see if he fills in those people. If not, it depends on who he puts in, but I'm going to have to go with me, just because I'm not going to go against myself. And I've had 2 bad weeks in a row. I have to have 1 good week, so hopefully my people do it for me.
To conclude next week's projections, we have Martin versus Steve, which Martin, again, is supposed to score 122 points. I just don't see how he can do it 2 weeks in a row, or how he can keep it up. I mean, RG3 is always going to get the points now. He's #1 fantasy player right now with the most points. I think maybe besides CJ Spiller, but I think RG3 is over him now. He's got Brady against RG3, Welker and Des Bryant, Andre Johnson, Steve Smith. I mean, good matchups all around here. Alfred Morris against Jamal Charles. I mean, you never know what kind of day Jamal Charles is going to have. Then you got T-Rich versus Foster. Foster should be able to blow T-Rich out of the water, especially since Cleveland is playing Baltimore. Baltimore is going to lay the smackdown on their forehead. So yeah, that concludes those projections. I'd just like to thank you, Mikey, for accepting this donkey punch this week, and the super kick, which I don't know if it's been done before. I don't know. You get the lowest and the biggest margin of loss by a slim amount, but that doesn't matter. This is Adam.
You're still donkey punch.
Adam clocking out for the week 3.
And I'd like to say to you guys, fuck Seattle. Fuck Seattle.
And we'll end on that high note. Good night.